Hi, it's Steve. Thought I'd tell you a story. My inspiration for telling this story is that on Sundays I sometimes listen to NPR radio, to the Moth Radio Hour, where people get up on stage and tell stories, funny stories, dramatic stories. But anyway, a lot of great storytellers. That I really enjoy watching that. And also, of course, another inspiration is our pipe presenter friend, Matches 860. That guy can spin a good yarn, and I enjoy listening to his stories. Anyway, by the way, I'm smoking my large Randy Wiley, sort of a Dublin freehand type pipe. It's a great pipe it's one of my very, very favorite pipes and best smokers. It's rather large, and it has some kind of really unusual rustication on it that I've never seen before, never seen anyone do, and I've never seen a Randy Wiley pipe with this type of rustication. But anyway, it's probably made in the early 2000s. A friend of mine told me that this is called a contemplation pipe, where you just sit in an easy chair and smoke and contemplate. Anyway, back in the early 70s when I was a kid, I was probably 12 or 13 years old, and I lived in kind of like a suburban community, but it was also sort of a semi-rural area because we were surrounded by hills and wilderness. And anyway, I was kind of a prankster and the leader of my little gang of merrymakers in the neighborhood when I was a kid. So we were bored, a little bit bored, of course. So we figured out that we would sneak out of the house at 2 o'clock in the morning and meet in the street. And we did this many, many times. So each kid, we'd make a plan to meet on the corner at 2 in the morning. This is when, again, like I say, when we were around 12 years old. So I would tiptoe through my house so my parents didn't hear me. I would go in off the kitchen. There was a door with a dog door, and I was a skinny little kid, and I would go out the dog door and meet my friends in the street. And each kid, of course, had his own way of escaping undetected out of his home. One of the girls, the only way she could get out was through out her second-story bedroom window. So she would come across the roof, and we would lower her down to the driveway. And anyway, all the kids would meet out on the street, and we would just, fool around, screw around in the neighborhood, jump in the bushes when cars came and tried to remain undetected, and, So we go out around, we probably smoked cigarettes too. I don't know what other, nonsense we got up to. But anyway, I noticed something in the neighborhood. This was back in the days before people had automatic garage door openers. So if you wanted to get your car out, you had to go pull the handle, lift up the door. When you brought your car out, you'd go get out of the car, bring the door back down. And all of the garage doors had a hasp bolt. When you slid the bolt across, you flipped it down and you put your padlock on it so no one could break into your garage. Although in my neighborhood, of course, there wasn't much crime, so most people just had their padlock hanging on this bolt thing. No one ever locked. Very few people actually locked their garage doors because that was just another step in getting your car out of pain in the butt. So I noticed that as we walked through the neighborhoods all these nights, that all of the garage doors had a padlock hanging on them. And most of the padlocks were not locked. They were just open and hanging there. I thought of a great idea. Let's collect all the locks on these people's garage doors that were just hanging there unlocked. So we took about 15 locks off people's garage doors. Can you guess what we did next? I thought of a great idea. Let's take all the locks we collected and lock them on other people's garage doors. True. So we took this pile of locks and we went and bolted and padlocked about 15 people's garage doors. And I think this was in the summer. It was probably a weeknight during summer vacation. So you can imagine our glee after locking 15 people's garage doors with other people's locks. Just the thought of these guys getting up for work in the morning and not being able to open their garage door. And then, of course, having to go find the key. Where's the key? We don't even lock this thing. Who's got the key? And, of course, once they found the key didn't work. We were hysterical. We thought this was the greatest prank ever pulled. We were just absolutely overjoyed with our sheer genius in prankdom. So anyway, we got a big kick out of this. We were hoping we weren't going to get caught. Of course, well, I should say at first we didn't. And we just thought we were the smartest kids that ever lived. So anyway, that's the first part of my story. In my next video, I'm going to give you part 2, where we took up our crime spree up a notch. And then you'll find out what happened with the Padlock prank volume 2. So, well, thank you for listening. Look for my next video, wherein you will learn what happened next in the lock prank. This is Steve. I'll see ya.